Hello and welcome to Lisa Lives, and I am back refreshed after my mini rant about the movie I Feel Pretty. If you're male, you probably don't want to see it. It's me having a right complain and grumble and swear and gripe about woman's portrayal in that movie. So I'm going to review a movie I watched last night that I loved called Wildling. This one is written and directed by a German, Fritz Boom. Most of the things he's known for tend to be German movies, nothing so much in the mainstream UK or US. It stars Anna Pauli. No, it doesn't. It stars Belle Pauli as Anna. She's the main girl that we follow through the movie. She was in movies, let me see what else. Diary of a Teenage Girl, Detour, what was the other one? Carrie Pilby. Absolutely stunningly beautiful girl. Big blue eyes, long dark hair, just stunning girl. Liv Tyler's in this, so my husband's interest was piqued and he was quite happy to watch this. He likes a bit of Liv Tyler. Texter looks after her father, of course. And what's the guy's name? Colin Kelly Swordlet stars as Liv Tyler's younger brother Ray. She seems to be like the guardian in this. It never discusses what happened to their parents. Well, she's a grown woman and he's her younger brother, but she cares for him like she's his mum. And guess who else is in this? Guess who else popped up in this? Brad Dourif of Child's Play fame is in this. He plays a character only ever referred to as Daddy by Anna's character. Right, I think I can put that down now. I've got the names out of the way. So, in this movie we follow Anna from when she was a tiny wee thing, a little toddler, and she is being kept in a locked attic by Brad Dourif, who she thinks is her daddy, so she calls him Daddy. And he obviously does care for her. There's no sort of like any form of abuse or anything going on here. I suppose being locked away is a form of abuse, but he obviously loves and cares for her. It shows her getting older. He has her in here as she is told, he tells her that she is the last surviving child in the world and that there is something in the forest called a wildling that eats children, and that is why she has to be in a locked room. The door of a room he is electrified so that if she touches it she gets a shock, which she does at one stage, and that's so that the wildling can't get in. She's got bars on the window, the whole thing. The girl has never seen the outside. She's lived her entire life in this house. So she's approaching teenage years and the inevitable happens and she has her first period. And we see Daddy getting very flustered, very worried, and you're sort of thinking, what's, is he embarrassed or something because he has to explain what's going on to her? She doesn't know anything about biology or what's happening. He tells her that she's sick, and he starts injecting her with something. We'll later find out what, but I'll not go into any detail. So things come about that Anna's existence is discovered by the outside world, and Liv Tyler, the sheriff, forms a connection with her where she doesn't trust anyone else. So she takes her home, which wouldn't happen in real life clearly. She takes her home and tries to care for her while they're trying to find her somewhere else to be. And this movie follows... How do I describe to you? This movie follows her accustoming herself to normal life, to things she doesn't understand. There is an instant bond and attraction between her and Liv Tyler's character is called Ellen, between her and Ellen's younger brother. So, there's a little bit of, going on there. And as she blossoms into womanhood and as she gets older, I think she's 16 at this stage, she begins to notice that she is not the same as other people. And certain aspects of her appearance changes. I will say this reminded me of, and this is not to say that this is what she is, it reminded me of Ginger Snaps. I think about Nick from Last Shoegazer when I say that, as I know he saw Ginger Snaps relatively recently and he loved it. I think Nick would love this one as well. It's got a very similar feel to it as Ginger Snaps. Anna's character reminded me so much of the younger sister in Ginger Snaps, or I've forgotten her name. It just seems to be shot quite similarly, the story's told quite similarly. The whole thing about adolescence and girls and puberty and, the becoming of something possibly a bit different. I won't say anything else about the storyline and what happens, but I loved this movie. I thought the performances of everyone was brilliant. I loved the fact that Brad Dourif showed up. That was a surprise for me, and I loved it. He played his role of Daddy, so quite sinister. You sort of start, and even though he's not doing anything, he is doing something wrong, but he's not doing something like you thought, oh God, it's going to show abuse or something here. I really don't want to say this. But he doesn't. And even though he's not being as bad as he could have been, there's always a sinister edge to him in this. And it obviously just reminds you of Chucky and Charles Lee Ray and all of that. But Liv Tyler does a brilliant job. Belle Powley does a brilliant job. She's wonderful in this. I would heartily recommend this. Now, I'm sure I don't really use Instagram a lot. I just post links to my videos on there, or I post about videos on there. But I'm sure someone, it popped up last night, I haven't been on to look at it yet since, that they really hated this, and I think it was a girl, and I can't, was it maybe Alexandria? I can't remember, or maybe it was something entirely different, but I think there are some people that don't really like this movie at all. I loved it. I thought it was really refreshing. I loved the ending. I adored the ending, actually. I really want to go back and watch it again, and I am praying that they do a sequel to this. I just love the whole concept of it. So yeah, I would heartily recommend The Wildling, and I would give it I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10, and for me that's quite a good score. You know, I reserve the 9 out of 10 plus for things like Misery and The Shining and American Werewolf in London, that sort of thing. So an 8.5 is a mighty good score. So yeah, have you seen it? What did you think of it if you have? Does it sound like something that appeals to you? Let me know. And with that said, it's over and out from Lisa Lives.